A very interesting argument with the idol worshipper. He was saying that your way of interpreting this Purusha Sukta mantra, Sahasra Shirisha Purusha, is not right. This mantra very clearly gives us the permission to do idol worship, because this mantra says that Purusha Paramatma has got 1,000 heads, he has got 1,000 eyes and legs, etc. So it is okay to construct idols and worship that Paramatma through idol worship. This mantra is giving us the rights to do it, and that is why greatest acharyas like Shankaracharya or other acharyas, they are following idol worship and they have never prohibited idol worship. So Arya Samaj's way of interpreting this mantra is not proper. That's what he was mentioning to me. The problem is we do not understand the context of the Vedas. See, Vedas emanate from Paramatma, so when we have to interpret any Veda mantra, number one, before interpreting the Veda mantra, the person who is explaining the Veda mantra must be a Samadhist yogi. So in this context, I am not the Samadhist yogi. What I have learned from my Acharya, who is a Samadhist yogi, what I have learned from Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati's book, who is a great yogi, from their books and my Acharya's pravachan, I am trying to explain to you. I'll try to explain you the logic, then it is up to you to take it or leave it. It doesn't, see, God does not force anyone. God says in the Vedas that I am Akayam, I don't have Sharir. So there is no question of God having heads and eyes and ears. But still, if we are misinterpreting this mantra, then we are going against Paramatma only. This mantra is actually not misguiding us. It is actually guiding us towards greatness of Paramatma. By understanding this mantra, we will immediately become conscious and we will immediately become aware of Paramatma's presence everywhere. That is the purpose of mantra. See, every one of us, most of the person who is like a person who is very fair, female or male, very fair and have good body, they have good structure, everything, they might have a little bit of higher ego. But Paramatma says, in this mantra, Paramatma says, why you are having ego? Your eyes and your body is given by me, don't have ego. You have been given a beautiful body, don't have ego on your body. This also is a lesson we can learn from this kind of mantras. So first we will understand the mantra. The mantra is, I have already explained around 2 years back, but I want to clarify this doubt on idol worship. Sahasra Shirusha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. This is the first sentence. The second sentence is very important for us to correctly understand the first sentence. Sa bhuming sarvata spritva atyatishta dashangulam. You see, sa means sa is indicating to Paramatma. Who is that sa? That sa is Sahasra Shirsha Purusha. That Purusha Paramatma. First, let's understand the second verse of this mantra, so that your doubt about idol worship is totally destroyed by Paramatma himself. Sa bhuming sarvata spritva. Bhumi means this earth we are living upon. This mantra, we are decoding this mantra now, currently living on this earth. So bhumi. And this mantra, if somebody is reading this mantra in any other earth where Almighty God has given the knowledge of the Vedas to those human beings, in any other Brahmand, there also that portion is called as Bhumi, because they will live in Bhumi only. They will have similar circumstances, similar oxygen, everything. So sa bhumim spritva. See the meaning of spritva. Sarvatah spritva. Sarva asmad eshat abhivyapaya sarva vyapak. Spritva, sarvatah spritva means always sarva vyapak. Paramatma is sarva vyapak. In Hindi, sarvatah means sab deshon se sab or se vyapt hoke. Sab deshon se means in all the directions, in all the space, Paramatma is sarva vyapak. This is the meaning of the second portion. Sa bhumim spritva. He is inside this universe, inside this earth everywhere. Not only inside this earth. Further, the mantra says a very deep philosophy. Paramatma says, Atya Atishta Dashangulam. Ati atishtat dashangulam. Dashangulam means what? Dashangulam is the Karya Jagat. There is one thing called as Karan. Karan Jagat is Prakriti. Karya Jagat is this universe. From Prakriti, from Karan, Karya is made. From Prakriti, this universe is made. So, and this universe is primarily composed of what? From Prakriti, this universe is made from what? Pancha Bhutas. Panch Mahabhutas, Pancha Sukshma Bhutas. Agni, Vayu, Jal, Akash, Prithvi. And then there is a 5 Sukshma Bhutas of each Mahabhut. This is called as Dashangulam. Das Anguli. Anguli means the fingers. Like we count in the kg class also, we start counting with the hand, with the fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So Dashangulam, Paramatma says this entire universe, Karya Jagat, is made from Dashangulam. But Paramatma is not only omnipresent within this Karya Jagat, he is Ati Atishtat, he crossovers this universe. Wherever the universe is very small. So outside the universe, what exists? Outside the universe, of course the space exists, the space which is uncreated exists, there also Paramatma is Sarvavyapak. See, according to Vedic philosophy, 6 things are eternal. Uncreated, eternal. 6 things. What are those 6? Prakriti, Jivatma, Paramatma. This we all know. And another 3 is space, time and Disha, directions. So in the inside, and direction is also in the space only, but direction also, in as per the Vaisheshik Darshana, direction also is uncreated. Space is uncreated. Not the space what we see now. There is a space beyond this space. What we see, perceive, this space is made from vibrations. That is called a Shabd. From this Shabd, this space is created. But this space is present in that space which is uncreated. So the universe, Karya Jagat, if the Karya Jagat does not exist, that means Prakriti is converted into this Jagat. Outside this Jagat, Akhanda Akash, and that Akhanda Akash also Paramatma is Sarvavyapak, present everywhere. So when we understand this second portion of this mantra, then you will not relate head and eyes to our physical head and eyes. Then what is that heads and eyes? And also we must understand Sahasra Shirsha, just by going by this person's logic, Sahasra Shirsha, Sahasra Akshaha, Sahasra Path, the mantra says. If you directly interpret this mantra, 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, 1,000 legs. That means there is one head, and in one head there is one eye, and there is one leg for one head. So there is a person, or there is a being, there is an animal or a being which is called as Purusha, which has got 1,000 heads, and in each head there is one eye, and for each head there is an eye, there is one leg. This is how they must interpret, which is a very ugly thinking also. This kind of thinking we normally even do not create a, somebody is making an ugly picture of like evil picture, they will also not create such a ugly being. So this mantra does not speak about one head having one eyes and one leg, and like similarly 1,000 heads, one guy is there and that guy has got 1,000 heads and 1,000 eyes. That Paramatma has created us so beautifully, why he will look so ugly? Please understand that. So here the mantra does not speak about God has got 1,000 heads. That's why my Acharya has explained that Sahasra Shirshaha, similarly Sahasra Akshaha, Sahasra Path, all these things are in plural. That means thousands of heads, not 1,000 heads. Thousands of heads. That means greater than 1,000. Greater than 1,000 can be infinity, uncountable. So the mantra Maharishi has beautifully written. He Manushyaha Yasmin Jisme. Yasmin matlab Jisme Purne Paramatman. The mantra very clearly says Jis Paramatma Me Sahasra Shirsha. In that Almighty God, thousands of heads. We all have thousands of, there are thousands of human beings, or infinite, billions of human beings, billions of animals, billions of creatures. Whichever creature has got a head and eyes and legs and body, they all exist, Yasmin, they all exist in this Paramatma. And that Paramatma is called as Purusha in this mantra. And Purusha means one who is Paripurna. Purusha, the Maharishi writes that उस सब जगत के बनाने वाले परिपूर्ण सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप नित्य शुद्ध बुद्ध मुक्त स्वभाव परमेश्वर. This is the Purush meaning that Paramatma is paripurna. He is Nitya Satchidananda Swarup. Nitya Satchidananda Swarup, Nitya Paripurna Paramatma, ever eternal, and Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Buddha, Nitya Mukta Swabhavala. He is always in ever bliss, and he is always in complete in all aspects. And inside that Paramatma, that means just to understand that I am sitting inside the room. Similarly, if Paramatma is everywhere in this room, and I am sitting inside the room, and I am having head and leg and body, etc. Similarly, inside this Paramatma, Asankhya Jivatma hai. We are all uncountable Jivatmas. Each one of us, we are having heads and eyes and legs, etc. So that is the real meaning of this mantra. This mantra does not say that Paramatma has got 1000 heads and eyes. And similarly, we must understand Jagat ke banane wale. Paramatma is the one who has created my head. Paramatma has created my eyes and legs and body, everything. So why should I be in ahankar? Why should I be in ego? Why should I have pride? Why should I have so much of ego that I treat others very badly? Like some couple of days back, I was discussing one person that I was asking that why you did not recruit that person. Okay, my friend working in another company, he was having some interview, so he did not recruit one person. Then what he told, I was amazed. He told, he's a good person, but he told that his HR did not like the appearance of that. He was good person, he was qualified, but his HR manager did not like the appearance of that person because he was very black skinned and little bit ugly looking, etc. So that's why we chose another person, he was telling. So I was telling that, yaar, Kamale, you are seeing the skin color and recruiting and rejecting a person in interview. I mean, how sad and how bad that person would have, he's an eligible person, he has answered all the questions, he knows the job. Rejecting by seeing the skin by the HR of that company, I mean, it is not only like ethically wrong, and from the company rules also it might be wrong, but from the Paramatma view, Paramatma has created our body like this. We must have Adar Man Samman. We must not hate anybody with reference to the colors, because Paramatma says, Mere andar sab kuch hai. We are all children of that Paramatma. We are all created by Paramatma. We must not discriminate anybody with reference to their body appearance. So this I have seen in my life so much. I have seen myself based on my relatives, close relatives. People used to talk badly or laugh at like somebody is handicapped. People used to laugh, or some kind of little bit of laughing smile comes when they walk. Like Ashtavakra Muni, when Ashtavakra walked inside the assembly, everybody laughed seeing Ashtavakra because he was handicapped by Ashtavakra. Full limbs are gone. His body is like this, and then his leg is not good, his hands are not good, his face is black. Everybody started laughing, but Ashtavakra was a Brahma Rishi. So Paramatma also is giving us a lesson here in this mantra. Don't discriminate by their bodily appearances. See the Atma, whether this guy is really an intelligent person, he is a Brahmanyani, is he having capabilities? See only those things. Never see the appearances. So this we must very clearly understand. Sahasra Shirusha Purusha. So he is that Purusha who is Nitya Satchidananda Swarup, Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Buddha, Nitya Mukta Swabhavala. So in this mantra, God is not speaking about idol worship at all. God is not sanctioning idol worship at all. God is telling that I am everywhere. So people can also question that if God is everywhere, He is inside the idol also. Yes, undoubtedly God is inside the idol. But what we are worshipping the idol, not the God. Because God says, do not worship me outside, worship me inside with Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya. And people argue with me that for doing concentration I need idol. And Yoga Darshana, the very purpose of writing Yoga Darshana by Patanjali Muni is to guide us towards yogic path. And Yoga Darshana clearly says you cannot focus on idol. When you focus on idol, for example, you close your eyes and then you take any Krishna Maharaj idol or any other idol, your focus will go on on the idol's eyes, on the nose, on the ears, on the head, on the face. So your mind will be wavering here. There will not be ekagrata. And when Paramatma does not have a form, how do you meditate? Based on his qualities, name only. That's why Paramatma says Om Kritosmar. Om mein Smaran karo. Name jap we must do. And Om is not sound Om. You should not play music of Om and do meditation. It's not the sound Om. It is the quality of Paramatma Om. We must focus on the quality Sarvarakshak Parameshwar. We must focus on the bhavana. That's why the name jap speaks about Tat Japah Tadartha Bhavanam. Do not do jap with the idol. Do not do meditation with the idol. This mantra clearly prohibits idol worship because Paramatma is omnipresent and you must focus Paramatma inside, who is inside you, and your head and body and every aspect, every cell in your body is inside Paramatma. Paramatma is inside you and you are inside Paramatma, and that is the greatness of Paramatma, who is everywhere across this Karya Jagat. He is in the Karya Jagat and he is beyond the Karya Jagat. He is inside the Prakriti, he is beyond the Prakriti. Whatever is there outside, we do not know. People ask that what is outside this universe. Purusha says Amritam Divi, there is Amritam Divi, there is one thing which is uncreated. Uncreated Divi Lok is there, means uncreated eternal space is there. That's all Paramatma only. Outside this universe, everywhere it's Paramatma only. So when you attain moksha, like my Acharya always says that when a Jivatma, when a yogi attains moksha, he is free to go anywhere because he is always with Paramatma. Paramatma will take him anywhere. Paramatma is omnipresent. So we do not sitting here, we cannot perceive what is outside Prakriti. But when we attain moksha, we can see what is outside Prakriti, what is Prakriti, how the universe gets created. Everything will be clarified by Paramatma in Samadhi, in Mukti, in Moksha Avastha. So Sahasra Shirusha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Paramatma has given us every ang in our body, but he does not have ang. Because Vedas very clearly, not only this mantra, every mantra of Vedas very clearly prohibits that confirms that God does not have an image. God does not have any form. God is not created by particles. Whatever has a form, even an electron has a form, even an electron has a structure in the Vedas. Even a photon has a structure in the Vedas. Even the prana has a structure in the Vedas. The ultimate final structure is Rajagun, Tamagun, Sattvagun. But Paramatma is not made from Rajagun, Tamagun, Sattvagun. That's why Paramatma's idol cannot exist. So undoubtedly this mantra clarifies that no idol worship. And also, if somebody argues that Shankaracharya did not prohibit idol worship, we do not know. Shankaracharya might have prohibited, because the very reason Shankaracharya was killed was because he was against Jains and Buddhists. So he was killed. We do not actually, he was against. When you read the history books, which are not available much today, but when you read it, there are some extracts in Satyartha Prakash very clearly says, when Shankaracharya won the debate from these Buddhist scholars and Jain scholars, he ordered to destroy all the temples in India. The idols were broken. Jain idols and Buddhist idols all were broken in India. So he was against idol worship, that is for sure. But today Shankaracharya, they are okay for idol worship, but anybody can be okay for idol worship. But Paramatma is against it. We must follow Paramatma, not anybody else. Maharishis, we must follow Maharishis, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, my Acharya, Jamini Rishi, Kapila Muni, Sankhya, Patanjali Muni, Vyas Muni, Atri Rishi, like that we must follow their teachings, which are completely Vedic. So I don't really want to argue on you have to stop idol worship, etc. It's not my agenda at all. If you want to continue idol worship, continue it coolly, jollily. Nobody is going to Paramatma will not come and stop you doing idol worship. But when time comes, Almighty will give the punishment, give the result of our deeds accordingly based on our own deeds. So we must try to be humble and submissive. We must leave our ego, ahankar, and we must leave this andavishwas and follow the Vedic path as much as possible. We must strive to follow the Vedic path on a daily basis. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.